Okay, so this is lesson 36. It's the last bit of the chapter, Understanding Civil Rights and the Constitution. So civil rights and democracy. Democracy is often in conflict with itself. Both equality and individual liberty are important democratic principles, but they may conflict with each other. So, real simple, guys. We all want to be free to do what we wish, but what happens when our freedom, an exercise of our freedom, might extend and interfere with someone else's freedom? Or what happens when our pursuit of wealth becomes a situation where we become so wealthy, and if enough of us become wealthy enough that we monopolize resources and make it difficult for others to chase after that particular dream. So there's a balance between equality and liberty that has to be reached. There are arguments, oftentimes many political arguments between Republicans and Democrats are about the balance between equality and liberty. And you'll hear Democrats talk a lot more about equality, and you'll hear Republicans talk a lot more about liberty, if you pay attention. So equality tends to favor majority rule. Equality can threaten individual liberty in situations where the majority wants to deprive the minority of its rights. I'm sure we're all familiar with that concept. Majority rule is not the only threat to liberty. Minorities have suppressed majorities as well as other minorities. So, women have been classified as a minority in terms of political power, but in reality there are more women than men in our society. Unless you're in Alaska. So even when they lacked the power of the vote, both African Americans and women made many gains by using other rights, such as First Amendment freedoms to fight for equality. Here we see some folks, I don't know what they're about, what their movement is, but they're being talked to by a police officer. They're doing a set-in. And I suspect this is right before they get arrested. Ugh, lots of words. Civil rights in the scope of government. Civil rights laws increase the scope and power of government. In order to protect people's civil liberties as groups, you have to put laws in place, which means bigger government. These laws place both restrictions and obligations on individuals and institutions. They tell individuals and institutions that there are things they must do and other things they cannot do. So you have to have wheelchair accessible entryways into buildings. You have to have parking for people with the handicap stickers on their cars, right? Or the things that hang off the window mirror. And other, Title IX. You guys familiar with Title IX? Title IX is the rule. It's in your book that on education that requires institutions to provide sports for girls, equal representation. So, these big universities with big, powerful football programs, there has to be some sort of offsetting activity for women. Libertarians and those conservatives who want to reduce the size of government are uneasy with these laws and sometimes hostile to them. So you have a lot of conservatives who really don't like affirmative action and laws like that. Civil rights is an area in which increased government activity in protecting basic rights can lead to greater checks on the government by those who benefit from such protections. So it's kind of complicated how all this plays in. The more you use the government to limit the ability, here's a way to look at it. Civil liberties has to do with protecting an individual's rights. Civil rights has to do with protecting, here's the way. Civil liberties is a way of protecting an individual's rights from the government. And civil rights is a way of protecting someone's rights from another group in society. Make sense? Okay.